Hello Floss Tube, this is Stitchy Dutchy. It's very hot at the moment, but I'm gonna try and do some stitching. And if you like, you can join me. I'm going to work on Riverwalk Charm, and the section I've picked is, I've selected a page, about a page, and I'm gonna work least to most stitches. So the color with the least amount of stitches I'm gonna do first, but I don't know if you can see this, but there's a very large color block. So every now and then I just do a row of that color, so I won't be bored with over 1500 stitches to start with, I think it was. So but that would be a very boring floss tube video, so I'm gonna stitch in the area where there's still a lot of color changes, and I'm going to let the app, the Saga app, guide me through the colors. So this is the edge of the page, and I've parked a few threads to the side for the next page. I like to have these mini finishes in between the during the project, so I can celebrate those little moments. And mostly I do a picture of the page on I post it on Facebook. So not only to keep other stitchers informed about my progress, but as a milestone for myself, and to look back on the progress I made on the whips I'm stitching on. So I'm gonna look up what color I'm gonna do next. It's 738. I'm going to pick that color from my floss cards. You may have seen this way of organizing before. I just print out the symbol list. I'm sorry you catching a glare from my magnifier light. I just print out the symbol list that goes with the pattern, and I laminate it. I put some holes in it, and during the project it gets pretty messy, but this is the way I like to organize my threads, because I don't like a big pile of skeins besides me, or bobbins or whatever. I just like a few threads, 6 strands in the length I prefer, and this is enough to keep me going for a while. So I'll just pick my 738. That's this beige color. And I'll try to do some stitching. I've got my setup a bit different than I was used to. I've got a new phone stand, and you're looking, from the perspective like you're looking over my shoulder, and there's a reason for that. When I started cross-stitching, I had to find out for myself how it worked, and Floss Tube was my guide. And I didn't have my mother, she had passed away already, or a lovely aunt, or a lovely neighbor to guide me through what cross-stitching is. So I kind of miss that, looking over someone's shoulder. So when I present something and I want to leave an inheritance of my cross-stitch voyage on Floss Tube, I like to have the angle from the way like it would be when you were looking over my shoulder. And I hope it is helpful. I know there's a lot of stitchers that post on FlossTube, so there is a lot of content you can scroll through and look up what you want. But I still I need to leave a kind of footmark for fellow stitchers, maybe for the next generation. Who knows? Maybe my daughter will pick up stitching sometime in the future. So let's see if I can find the place I need to put in this color. I'm gonna start here. That's a preferred way of starting my thread when there's two crosses next to each other or on top of each other. So I can go to an angle in the diagonal of the way, the place I'm starting, and I leave a very little tail. And just swirl it down to the back of the fabric, and then my thread is attached for the stitches I need to make. So there's another one that's still on my chart but already stitched. So let me mark that off. I'm just trying to make a path, find a way to travel with my stitches so that I don't have to travel long distances. And if I think I'm gonna end up with some more thread than this color needs, then I try to park to the right, or well, to the bottom page, but that's a long way away. So in this case, see if I can stitch my way to the right. So there's not a very fast rule or something for this. You can never tell how the stitches are placed on the pattern. And it's trial and error all the way. So this page is still very confetti mellow. There are some color changes. There's lots of colors in it, but also lots of color blocks. And then I go, well, sort of mini cross country and change the ways I'm stitching, least to most, or just a few strands of a color that's got a lot of stitches on this page. I think I've stitched everything. Yep. Let me just mark off and Saga will tell me if we're there. Got that one. Yeah, got that one. I'm sorry I can't show you the pattern at the same time. No, I still need to find 2 more stitches. Ah, they're down there. So I need to go a little bit this way. Yeah, it's okay to travel. No, over here. Yep, that's it. But in the meanwhile, my thread has nearly run out, so there's not enough. Well, I could part, but that's only gonna leave me a few stitches. So I'm gonna finish the thread by, oh, well, maybe I can zoom you in for this. Let me see. I need to twist the phone a little bit. I hope it doesn't get too blurry. Maybe a little bit out. So, sorry. This I'm going to finish with a little boomerang stitch. So I did the Danish method by stitching 2 bottom halves first, the bottom legs first, then the top leg of the one stitch, the stitch on the right, and the stitch on the left still needs the top leg. So I'm gonna do that top leg, but I'm gonna come up in the position where I started the stitch through the loop I left from doing the top leg. So I'm gonna pull the thread through and I'm going to go down top left, and I'm gonna pull the stitch tight, and this fixes the cross, the stitch enough so it secures the thread, and I'm gonna come up in between, through fabric thread, and just cut the end off, and that will hold that stitch secure enough for the stitches around it, so it's fully secured. Well, let me turn the camera back. I hope that didn't get too blurry, but maybe we'll do that again on next occasion. So I'm gonna mark off my stitches, and Saga will tell me to do the next. That's also got 22 stitches. It's color number 17, so here come my my floss cards with the glare. So I'm gonna blind you, and I'm gonna find my first, 2 or a couple of stitches. I think in this case it's better to do just 1 stitch. That's positioned over here, and I do kind of the same. I need my stitch to be, I hope you can see, but you can also zoom in yourself. So I'm starting over here, and I'm going down a few stitches above, leave a little bit of a tail, and do my first stitch that will catch that tail, pull it tight, go down, and pull the end across, so it's, well, it's a little tiny tail of a few millimeters. That's under the fabric, but that's okay. This is not the one I want. This is the one I want. And as you can see on the right, there are already stitches because I started to do this. Well, I think the typewriter method is the best way to describe it. I started with a color and then stitched the color until there was no more symbols, but um, that way I would get, well, too much space between stitches. Well, not specifically in this area, but on the other side there was one stitch over here and one stitch over there, just all the way. And I don't like to leave that big of an empty space, so I needed to narrow it down, and I just focus on, well, it's not a real page like the hate pattern is, but I just do 8 wide and 10 down, so that's about a page. And when this page will prove to be confetti heavy, then I may um, choose a smaller area to focus on, maybe 2 blocks or 4 blocks. In this case, I work my way to the edge of the page, and there is a stitch not too far away, so even if my thread is rather short, I will still park it and do a few stitches on the next page. So I'm gonna mark it as parked, and I'm gonna mark off the rest of the stitches. Oh, the next color is also in this area, also 22 stitches. Yeah, well, in this case, the stitches that Saga tells me to do are over here. And I can also see that this area is still not stitched. So I prefer to overrule the decision Saga made, and I make my own decisions, and I will tell Saga, booger off, and let me do my own choice. So I'm gonna stitch that area, and then when that's filled, I'm gonna see if Saga makes a better choice or if I will do my own choice. So I don't really stick to one method. It's not cross country. It's not what Saga tells me. Yeah, it's a Dutchy way, I think. This start I did the same as the first one, only this contains 3 stitches, so stitch I go down in the top right of the highest stitch, and I come up in the top in the bottom left of the starting stitch. So I make a little tower of 3 stitches to secure the beginning of the thread, and I'm gonna continue to fill in quite a bit of that gap. And in my mind, I also think of the London subway, where they say, mind the gap. Yeah, so mind the gap and mend it. So it's also a little bit like gemma stitches. So you fill in an area like it's spreading like oil on water, or I don't know. Just spreading out from a corner. But always not quite. Always the Dutchy twist to it. Because in Gemma's methods you will park and leave absolutely no gaps. And that would mean that you have to stitch between parked threads, and I'm not very good at that. So I like the area I'm stitching to be free of parked threads, and when I go to the next page, I probably will stitch in all the threads first. I need to mark off some stitches. Still need to do 7. Oh, already did those, so only 4. Let me try and zoom in for another boomerang. I think this position is a little bit better. So I need to do 3 stitches. And I'm gonna do Danish the bottom halves first. I'm gonna go over the first 2 with the top leg. And then the last one will be a boomerang. So again, I just do my top leg like I always do, from bottom right to top left, but leave that loop, come up in the bottom left again, through the loop, and go down on the top left and pulling this stitch tight. And you can't see that extra loop you made. That's hidden under the top leg of the stitch. And then just anywhere I could come up, but I prefer to pierce a fabric thread, if that's still possible. It's getting more difficult when the area is getting fuller, more crowded with stitches. But well, then it's also possible to just pick a hole. Um, well, it doesn't even need to be an open space, but in between stitches is also okay. So, well, I can't even focus, but this is not worth keeping, so that's gonna go in the bin. Is there anything I could still show you on how to finish or to start? I don't think. No. Maybe next time I've got some more ways to start or finish threads, but this is these two methods are what I use on this project and mostly on my 25 count 1/1 project. So it's very secure if even if you wouldn't do any finishing or starting maneuvers like you can see on Komari. The stitches, when they are so tight together, they the starts and finish threads don't tend to come loose. But I like my little boomerang and my catch the tail ways to get some extra secured threads, and also the way to split the fabric thread that keeps you from getting those little pesky fluffy mini tails that you can see. You can see best when you hold your fabric so that the sunlight and sunbeam catches the surface of the stitched area, and then you can see them poking out. And what you can do then is, of course, use a snack nabbit to, well, there's no real here, maybe. You can use a snack nabbit to pull them to the back of the fabric, and you're never going to see them again. Because once they're on the back, they stay on the back. It's just when you forget, then then they stay on the front. So that's also proof that the little tails won't budge in this kind of stitching. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that. It's only getting hotter and hotter here in my room, so I'm gonna open the door, and well, the window is not really possible because the blazing sun is shining on that. I wish everybody good fortune on surviving this heat stroke today, and I hope you get some lovely stitching in today, because well, you can't do any running or any cleaning today. Just take it easy and enjoy the stitching, if not the sunshine. Or, well, maybe there's some people that like this kind of weather, but I think the majority will try to keep it cool. So I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye bye for now.